Welcome back to News Watch 12. This morning and turning now to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colbert. You've been busy this morning, kind of gearing up for a very active week ahead. What are conditions going to look like today before this storm rolls in?
Very nice and a little bit misleading. I mean, temperatures are going to be very mild. We'll have plenty of sunshine. And so if you didn't know any better, you would think that this would be our pattern going into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but it's not. And I'll show you how the script is going to get flipped here in just a second. But first, these temperatures, 20s and 30s for the east side, 20s, 30s, and 40s for west side valleys, mid 40s there along the coast and Brookings. So today will be very nice, mild temperatures in the 50s for the east side, 50s and 60s for those west side valleys, low 60s there along the coast. Mostly sunny skies. Winds do start to pick up today out of the south and out of the west for the Cascades and for the east side as well. And then overnight, the winds will continue to ramp up once again for the east side and for the Cascades. And this is when we're going to start to see some showers, pretty light showers at that, but we're finally going to start to see some more tangible impacts from the storm system. So we'll go ahead and put this into motion with Stormcast. This is by the time we get to midnight, you can see some of those showers approaching from the northwest, everything becoming a lot more widespread into Tuesday morning. And we're seeing some more intense rain and snow popping up on Stormcast. So we'll stop this at various points of the day. This is right around lunchtime for Tuesday, everything becoming much more widespread, and to dinner time becoming much more widespread. And this is when snow levels are going to start to descend as well. So this is when we could see that transition to snow within the Rogue Valley. And we'll continue to have more rounds of it into Wednesday. So here's some of these rainfall projections through Tuesday night. And I want you to keep in mind that this is not a complete picture of what's actually going to transpire with the storm system, because we'll have more wet weather into Wednesday. But this is just kind of a little sneak preview of what's going to be to come over the next, I'd say, 48 hours. So again, this goes through Tuesday night, and the mountains are going to be the clear winner with maybe upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches of precip. But for the Shasta Valley, for the east side, definitely some less impressive totals, probably less than 0.2 of an inch. Snow levels are going to go into free fall mode on Tuesday. They'll start off right around 4,500 feet. Look at this, within the span of 6 hours, getting cut by more than half, down to 2,000 feet, down to 1,500 feet for Tuesday evening. So that's when we're expecting that transition for places like Medford, for Phoenix, for Jacksonville, from rain to snow. And then by the time we get to Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, this is when we're talking maybe even some coastal snow, as the snow levels are going to be sub 500 feet. So here are some of these projected snowfall totals for Tuesday morning through Tuesday night. You can see that we're expecting up to that point trace amounts for Grants Pass, for Medford, for Wairika, for Mount Shasta City. But those passes up in the Cascades are going to look very rough, upwards of 1 foot to 1.5 feet of snow we're expecting for Crater Lake and for Lake of the Woods. So several winter storm warnings that we have in place, mainly in elevations above 1,500 feet. And then for these winter weather advisories, these are mainly in place in elevations above 500 feet. Also, wind's going to be a pretty big issue, especially for the east side, especially for tomorrow, as some of those wind gusts could be upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. So high impacts in terms of winter weather for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Thursday. Then travel impacts will linger all the way into Friday. So buckle up, folks. It is going to be an active weather week. Here's your 7-day forecast for the coast. Rain and storms looking likely for Tuesday, then likely having that transition to snow by Wednesday morning, and snow showers looking likely even into Thursday, lingering into Friday as well. For Siskiyou County, I think we're probably not going to see the amount of impacts in Siskiyou County that we saw for the beginning of this year, just because the storm system's coming in from the northwest as opposed to the southwest. So that limits some of those snowfall totals in south central Siskiyou County. For the east side, I think the mountains are going to eat up a lot of the storm system to shield the east side as well. So the big impacts are going to be mainly the winds, especially for some of those higher terrain areas that have exposed terrain. And then for the Cascades and Siskiyous, loads and loads and loads of snow Tuesday through Thursday. And then for the Rogue Valley, expecting that transition from rain to snow sometime during the afternoon, and then more snow showers on Wednesday and Thursday.
When it comes to the storm system this week, which day do we expect to be the worst?
I'd say Tuesday. Winds are going to be the worst on Tuesday. I think that's when precipitation is going to be the heaviest. So that means that we could go from heavy rain to heavy snowfall pretty quickly. So impacts are going to be pretty high on Wednesday and Thursday as well. But I think Tuesday is the day to circle for sure.
Do we have a time frame for when this storm is going to roll in?
It's going to roll in tonight into tomorrow morning, but snow levels are really going to start to fall into the late morning, into the early afternoon. So I think that's when we're expecting impacts to really go up for the Rogue Valley. And at that point, travel is probably going to look pretty rough for the Cascades.
Okay, so monitoring everything this week, school impacts, all the different closures.
All of it.
All
Yeah.
the fun stuff, just run it back.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Josh.
Of course.